Hi guys, welcome back. So this is going to be a post-trip video of my trip on Bearing Witness, and I wanted to show you some cool sites that I was able to see. Also, I wanted to get a perspective from some of my friends who went on the trip and what it was like for them. Before we get into that, you know what to do. Make sure to like, share, follow, save, and stay tuned for the next video. I wanted to mention that this video is partnered with ACIS, the educational travel company that organized our trip. Okay, so before we begin, I wanted to introduce my first friend, Ella. This was the first time for her leaving the country, and we're about to hear her experience. So I asked Ella what her favorite part of Bearing Witness was, and let's hear her response.
So my name is Ella, and my favorite part of Bearing Witness is hard to put my finger on because I made so many unforgettable relationships there and saw so many cool things. But probably the most impactful part was just experiencing the culture of different countries. I had never been outside of America before this trip, so it was really impactful to experience, the differences and culture shocks within the 3 different countries that we visited. And it was also really interesting seeing how they displayed their depictions of what happened within their countries and how, especially places like Germany, obviously they're ashamed of what happened, but they don't try to hide it, and they try to educate people about it to prevent any sort of atrocities like that ever happening again. So it was just really cool to see the country come together and continue to move forward and progress despite what has happened in the past.
Okay, so I totally agree with her, and I loved her take on this. I think the most memorable part for me of this trip was coming together as a class to learn about the Holocaust. It really helped me understand the devastating consequences of hatred and anti-Semitism, and seeing the impact it had on so many people's lives just made the experience extremely meaningful. Okay, my next friend is Anna, and she's Greek, so she's been to Europe a couple of times, and we're about to hear her experience. I also asked her what her favorite part of Bearing Witness was.
I would say that my favorite part about Bearing Witness was building connections with the other people on the trip. I truly believe that traveling can be such a meaningful and rewarding experience and becomes even more impactful when shared with others. Through this trip, I built so many connections with people who I previously barely knew, and these new friendships made the trip endlessly more meaningful. Because of my new relationships, this trip became one of the best weeks of my life.
Once again, I couldn't have said it better. I totally agree with this, and I think the nuance of going on Bearing Witness is so special because you can learn about the history of the Holocaust through a classroom, but actually going and seeing the historical site where everything started makes such a big difference. I want to give a big thank you to ACIS for making this trip a wonderful experience.